KOIN 6 News This Morning starts right now.
Thanks for sticking with KOIN 6 News this morning. It's 5:30. You're taking a live look at downtown Portland from the East Bank Esplanade, where the skyline is shrouded in some Thursday morning fog. At this point, you can't even see KOIN Tower from that view. And we're going to get some details on that in our upcoming forecast. The good news is you can see the inside of KOIN Tower from this television studio. I am Trevor Ault, in for Ken Body.
Yeah, and I'm Jenny Hansen. Yeah, in the basement here. You
right.
can see us, yes.
We can't even see out.
No, we can't. That's our only view right there. Yeah, a lot of fog. You had a lot of fog this morning coming in too, right?
I did, yes. Yeah. I've noticed that it seems to be lifting in some areas.
Yes,
if I'm correct.
It is moving out pretty quickly, but we were socked in there for quite a bit this early morning, and we will see those patchy areas of fog out there through this morning. We are very saturated out there because of yesterday's torrential downpour in Portland. Take a look at this photo. Thank you, Alexander, for letting us share this. A look at some lightning, some cloud to ground lightning yesterday. So we saw 0.82 inches of rain just in Portland, and it was very isolated. Some areas didn't even see any drops of rain. In Salem, only a few hundredths of an inch. So yeah, very isolated. We even shut down some stores yesterday. Saw some ponding of the water out there on the road. So very wet day yesterday. This morning, starting off with patchy fog in areas, cloudy skies. Most of those showers are remaining off the coast now, but we'll keep a chance for scattered showers popping up as we head towards the afternoon, and in those showers maybe even some heavy downpours again for today, but most of that thunderstorm activity is looking east of the mountains today. So still some showers out this afternoon. Temperatures ending in the upper 60s. More on our forecast and more on Hurricane Florence in just a bit. Carly.
Well, visibility is getting better out there. I've noticed with the fog lifting a little bit, it's not lying as close to the ground as it was earlier. So traffic looking good this morning, and as you can see, 26 has a little bit of fog at Bethany, but we can see the road. Earlier when looking at this camera or any of the others, you would see fog and it would be a little hard to see the roadway, but now we're starting to see that roadway, so it's looking better for commuters out there if you're about to head out the door anytime soon. I-5 southbound is 8 minutes, I-84 westbound 5 minutes, 26 a 5-minute drive eastbound in from 217. So monitoring I-205 southbound, it hasn't slowed yet. You're looking at 11 minutes from Highway 224 to I-5 and 7 minutes on 217 southbound.
All right, thanks, Carly. It's now 5:32 and 6 people are dead in California after a man opened fire at a home and a business and then turned the gun on himself. A shooting rampage started shortly before 5:30 yesterday afternoon at a trucking business in Bakersfield. We're told a husband and wife showed up at that trucking business and confronted the man at the business. Investigators say the husband shot and killed that man and another before killing his wife. He then traveled to a nearby home, killing 2 people there. And this is what happened afterward.
He hijacked a vehicle with a woman and a child in it. They were able to escape. He took that vehicle and drove to Edison Highway, where a deputy saw him.
With the deputy closing in, the man turned the gun on himself. The suspect's identity and the identity of the victims have not been released.
Jeff Fager is out as the head of CBS's 60 Minutes. CBS News reported the executive producer was fired after sending a threatening text to a CBS reporter working on a story about sexual misconduct allegations against him. Fager was terminated before the conclusion of an independent investigation and denies the allegations. CBS News President David Rhodes said Fager had violated company policy. CBS Chairman and CEO Les Moonves stepped down Sunday following allegations of sexual assault and harassment, which he denies.
Pope Francis is summoning the presidents of every bishops' conference around the world to the Vatican for an abuse prevention summit in February. The first of its kind summit will discuss how to prevent clergy sex abuse and protect children. This comes amid growing criticism over the Pope's handling of sex abuse cases dating back decades.
Paul Manafort is reportedly talking to special counsel Robert Mueller's team about a possible plea deal. The Washington Post cites 2 sources who say it's not clear whether negotiations include the possibility of providing information about President Trump. Jury selection begins Monday in Manafort's second trial for alleged financial crimes. Last month, he was convicted on 8 federal counts of bank and tax fraud. He faces up to 10 years in prison on those charges alone. Manafort served as campaign chairman for then-candidate Trump for about 6 months in 2016. Stormy Daniels is writing a tell-all book.
The porn star says that memoir is titled Full Disclosure, and it will detail her encounters with President Trump. And Daniels says she's been working on that book for about 10 years. It will also contain other information about her life, like her adventures as a stripper and porn star. Daniels, whose real name is Stephanie Clifford, says she had a one-night stand with Donald Trump in 2006. The president has repeatedly denied it. Full disclosure is set to be released October 2nd. Outer bands of Hurricane Florence are starting to move across the outer banks of North Carolina this morning. Now, right now, more than 10 million people in 3 states are under storm warnings or watches as Hurricane Florence moves towards the coast. That storm expected to make landfall tomorrow. And a big fear from Hurricane Florence is the storm could stall, bringing 2 or 3 feet of rain and storm surge to the Carolinas and Virginia.
1 million people along the coast in North Carolina have been ordered to evacuate. Our Brent Ramadna is in Wrightsville Beach this morning. Brent, how are conditions right now?
Hey, good morning. Conditions have changed quite a bit since yesterday. We've seen the wind pick up, but as far as rain, not a lot yet. The sun's actually shining right now. Now, you can take a look behind me and see that there is a roadblock here. We are in Wilmington, right across the beach from here, or right across the bridge. That's Wrightsville Beach. That's where everyone was told to leave by 8 p.m. last night, and we did actually talk to a few people who were evacuating. They said that they wanted to get one last look at the beach there before this system hits the beach.
One last look, a phrase heard multiple times Wednesday morning.
You know, they always say all is calm before the storm.
And that saying held true as beachgoers were met with a beautiful sunrise followed by sunny skies.
I don't know when the next time it's going to be that I'll have a chance to do this again.
Daniel Tesfaye fears his daily trips to the beach could look much different when all is said and done.
From what I hear, it's going to be a disaster.
His trip to Wrightsville Beach not the only one on this day. Dozens of people joined him for pictures of the sunrise and beach. Some came to ride the waves, while others, like Andrew Williams, came to ride the beach.
And it's fun. It's a breeze, you know, literally. Come out here, cruise. Just wanted to get across the bridge and check out the beach before the storm gets here.
But as the day went on, a usually crowded beachside community became a ghost town. Empty businesses and buildings, and a few cars left behind as stragglers picked up the pieces before heading out of town.
This is the only day I've ever seen it with nobody out here, except for us, of course.
Or, as some might put it, the calm before Hurricane Florence.
Now, police tell me they will respond to emergency calls up until it's deemed too dangerous. Again, the best piece of advice is get out. We've already seen a number of people trying to go past this roadblock here. They will not let you onto these beaches. Guys, back to you.
All right. Thank you, Brent. You know, airlines are canceling hundreds of flights in and out of the Carolinas ahead of Hurricane Florence, which is expected to make landfall tomorrow. Now, for those stuck in the region, Airbnb has activated its disaster response program to help local residents evacuate. That program also helps emergency relief workers find temporary housing with local hosts free of charge. U-Haul is also offering 30 days of free storage using U-Box containers.
Nearly a year has passed since Hurricane Maria ravaged Puerto Rico. The storm killed thousands, and some are still struggling with the aftermath. Hurricane Maria was the first Category 4 storm to hit the island head-on in 85 years. Earlier this week, President Trump praised his administration for its response to the storm, even tweeting they did a, quote, unappreciated great job, but not everyone agrees with him.
I think that Puerto Rico was an incredible, unsung success.
I'm sorry, sir. Shame on you. You did not do a good job in Puerto Rico. If he thinks that 3,000 people dying on his watch is a good news story or is an unsung success, you know, nobody's going to be singing his praises.
One problem recently discovered following Maria, 20,000 pallets of water that were sent to Puerto Rico has sat on an unused runway. Meanwhile, FEMA officials say they've made some changes to procedures in the year since Hurricane Maria.
Meantime, the Homeland Security Department is pushing back against Oregon Senator Jeff Merkley. It's after the Democrat released documents showing the Trump administration transferred nearly $10 million from the government's disaster relief agency to immigration enforcement. But yesterday, I had the chance to speak with Senator Merkley about the documents.
That's just kind of a lot of bunk. When you have preparedness lines and when you have lines dedicated to response, that's exactly the sort of funds that help you prepare and address the damage that comes from these storms.
DHS does not dispute the transfers, but says the money comes from accounts for training, office supplies, and overhead costs. FEMA added the money transferred will not affect relief efforts.
Very likely FEMA will be getting to work soon on the Carolinas as Hurricane Florence continues to make its way towards land. Let's get over to meteorologist Kelly Bayard with the latest.
Well, the good news is that we have downgraded this hurricane to a Category 2, but again, still some massive impacts for this region as we head into today. Even this morning, seeing hurricane force winds already pushing in. So we're expecting winds to hit the coast here at about 100 miles per hour. Right now, sustained winds out there at 110. So we're going to see a massive storm surge pushing in at about 9 to 13 feet, and that'll be one of the biggest impacts of this hurricane. So that's that big wall of water that pushes across the coast, and that's going to instill lots of flooding. Also, tons of rain dropping on this region too. So we'll be tracking the storm as it heads inland, but those impacts can be felt as early as this morning. Here's our day planner. Foggy outside. That fog is starting to lift a bit, but we're going to keep patchy, dense fog in areas. Temperatures now in the upper 50s. We'll see a high today in the upper 60s to about 70 degrees with a chance for pop-up showers again as we head towards our afternoon. Carly.
Well, it's 5:41. Traffic is looking great out there. We don't have any major slowdowns yet. I-5 southbound will be the first spot to slow whenever that happens. Usually it's right about now, so I'll keep my eye on it. I-5 southbound is 13 minutes as you head in from the Salmon Creek interchange. You can expect 11 on I-205 southbound before the Glen Jackson Bridge. I-84 westbound is 6 minutes only in from I-205 and 14 in from Troutdale. 26 eastbound, 11 minutes. You've got the same drive time if you're headed out to Hillsborough. And I-205 southbound is 11 minutes through Oregon City and West Lynn.
All right, thanks, Carly. Happening today, the Portland Bureau of Transportation wants to make sure that all of you riding those e-scooters around town are safe while doing it.
And our Elise Haas is live this morning with more on an event that the Bureau is holding today. Elise, what's going on?
Well, you guys, we talked many times about how dangerous it can be to ride these e-scooters, especially if you're not wearing a helmet or following the rules of the road. So today, all 3 of the Portland scooter companies are going to be giving away more than 500 helmets for free. That's right, I said it, for free, and we probably know there are plenty of e-scooter riders out there who could use a free helmet. The Portland Bureau of Transportation is hosting an e-scooter safety event today in downtown Portland, so you can find them on the corner of Southwest Broadway and Oak. This is in an effort to better inform riders as part of its ongoing education efforts during this electric shared scooter pilot program. Both during and after the pilot, PBOT will conduct an evaluation of the program, including surveying Portlanders to determine whether the scooters are compatible with Portland's transportation system. Now, by state law, scooter riders must wear a helmet and can't ride on sidewalks. And according to city code, scooters can't be used in the city parks either. Now, the event will be going on today in downtown Portland from 10:30 in the morning until 1 in the afternoon. And again, you can snag a free helmet on the corner of Southwest Broadway and Oak. Reporting live, Elise Haas, KOIN 6 News.
The dangers of the e-scooters have already personally affected the KOIN 6 News team, so this is a valuable tool.
We won't out who it was, Elise, and it wasn't you, but there was a member of our team who, and they had a helmet on too, and still managed to.
Still dangerous.
Get a little banged up.
I'm a fan of the scooters, but this
They're
is still
dangerous. It's crazy. They can go like 20 miles an hour sometimes.
Oh yeah, they can zip around.
Yeah,
for sure.
Okay.
Elise,
all right.
thank you.
It's coming up on 5:44. You're watching KOIN 6 News.
A new list says one section of Portland is one of the nation's top millennial magnets. We're going to show you where the important demographic is making an impact. 13 blocks of Southwest Stark Street are now Southwest Harvey Milk Street in honor of the iconic LGBTQ civil rights leader and activist.
Yeah, city leaders voted to unanimously make that change back in June. The stretch of Stark was picked because of the surrounding neighborhood's historic connection to the LGBTQ community. Now, the street signs will hang alongside Stark Street signs for 5 years as part of the transition.
A section of Southeast Portland is one of the nation's fastest growing hotspots for millennials. That's according to the website Rent Cafe. It says the zip code 97232 that belongs to the Kearns and Laurelhurst area has seen the 4th biggest increase in millennial population in the U.S. over the past 5 years. It's only topped by 2 zip codes in downtown Los Angeles and 1 in New York City's Battery Park.
Those are some rich millennials. Laurelhurst is, I mean, that's pretty pricey, that neighborhood, yeah.
Well, they're doing 9 to an apartment.
Oh,
stacking on top of each other.
They're also doing the expensive glorified studio type of 1-bedroom thing, which is what I have right now.
Yeah,
yeah, a little frustrating.
Yeah,
Right.
Okay, all right. Well, you know, you guys are moving on up.
You got to make it work.
You got to make it work,
You can squeeze in.
All right, we're going to take a look at your weather and traffic right now. And there was some fog out there, but you said it's moving out?
Yeah, Portland is starting to see that fog lift. This is a look out towards Vancouver. We can still see some of that now, kind of blocking that view of the bridge. But temperature-wise and our dew point pretty much at the same spot now. 54 degrees temperatures in Portland there, 53 dew point. So we are very saturated out there this morning, all due to that heavy rainfall that we saw yesterday evening, rolling through some record rainfall in Portland. We're still tracking this low system off the coast. It's just sitting right there. Some showers, heavy showers out towards the beaches. For Portland, we are fairly dry at the moment, but dealing with dense areas of some fog. So do be careful out on the roads. But let's talk about yesterday. Record-breaking rainfall, 0.82 inches as we finished out our day yesterday. That's a new record. The old one, about 0.2 of an inch for a single day. Set back on September 12th there, 1985. So some good old rainfall for us yesterday. Very heavy in spots. It did close down some shops, but we are still in a drought here. We got a lot of rain yesterday, but we're still missing about 6 inches from the normal totals that we should be seeing this point in the year. But still nice out there yesterday. Also some lightning. Thank you, Alexander, for letting us share the shot here. Pretty incredible shot of those thunderstorms that rolled through and isolated storms. So Portland saw about 0.8 of an inch of rain. Down in Salem, just a few hundredths of an inch. So these cells that moved through were pretty small, but very extreme and active. So we did see some lightning out there, some cloud to ground lightning. So incredible views. Thank you again, Alexander, for sharing that. Here's a long-term forecast heading into today. Still some areas of some heavy downpours. We'll still see a lot of moisture out there. And as daytime heating works up this afternoon, we may see some convective cells again. So heavy downpours still expected through today. Scattered showers out there. As we head towards Friday, we'll keep showers in the mix across the valley throughout the afternoon tomorrow and also into the weekend as well. So the system, that upper level trough still sits over us. We're going to keep showers in the mix till about Sunday morning. And how much rain? Well, through tomorrow, not much. So just light showers out there again this afternoon, except for those areas that do see those cells pushing through. As we head towards Sunday, we'll see that rain picking up, almost a half an inch of rain forecasted through the weekend. A look at the beaches, 64 degrees in Tillamook today. In the valley, we'll see temperatures in the upper 60s to about 70 degrees. And here's our 7-day forecast. So scattered showers into the weekend. We'll see temperatures right in the upper 60s to about 70 degrees. Carly.
Well, I have some traffic alerts for you. We're going to start with this crash reported over on 104th and Holgate. It looks like we are seeing some congestion in the eastbound direction on Holgate where this crash is. Then we have a crash which was reported as a stall at first, but it's actually a crash on I-5 southbound before you get to Terwilliger. This is blocking the center lane right there through the curves, and it is starting to cause some congestion since it's slowing traffic right where this happened. So there's the crash blocking the center lane. It looks like police officer or either an ODOT incident responder is with that crash right now. It involves 3 different vehicles. I-5 southbound is 11 minutes in from Vancouver. You've got rush hour delays there, and you won't see any slowing yet before the Glen Jackson Bridge, so it's only 9 minutes in from Vancouver on I-205 southbound.
Thank you, Carly. You know, yesterday we had a parade of homes on the show with Cora Harland, and some people watching it love the home. Some people, though, I'm sure, said these homes don't have enough wheels for my liking.
Yeah.
If that was you, the Portland Expo Center is the place to be this weekend.
Yeah, Cor Harlan's probably one of those people too. He's at the 35th Fall RV and Van Show. And Cor, are you inside of one right now? What are we looking at?
We're in one of the big ones. That would be me. I don't like this house. It doesn't have enough wheels underneath it. I like a house with wheels underneath. Trevor, I like your instincts on that. Good call on that. There are lots of houses with lots of wheels on them in here at the Expo Center this coming weekend. The fall RV and van show out here, 135,000 square feet of floor space, more than 20 dealers out here, and they are itching to get rid of some of this merchandise. If you may have been out this summer and thought, gee, it might be kind of fun to travel around in one of these, now's your chance to check it out. This one that we're in right now will set you back a cool $132,000. But you know what? You sell your house, you move into your RV, and off you go. It's beautifully appointed, leather, good countertops. I say this all the time, but these kitchens and the bathrooms in these things are nicer than mine at home. And that is a sad but true reality. When you have 3 kids that trash stuff like that, that's the fact of life. All right, so they've got big rigs here, the traditional RV motor coaches that you've expected to see. Jim Barrio is out here. He's the guy. How you doing? Good to see you.
Thank you.
You got things of all sizes, though, here, too, right?
We do. We have everything. You know, if you look over to your left here, we have great travel vans, and then, of course, next to us here, we have all these wonderful van conversions.
So let's go talk a little bit about these, because I walked up here and looked at these. I thought minivan, and then I looked at the front grille, and it's a Mercedes front grille here. So Mercedes is getting into this game of outfitting these things that are sort of equivalent to minivans, and they've got camper tops on them, and they have really stepped up their game in terms of appointing some of these minivans.
Well, I think it's great because up above you have sleeping quarters, and then inside here you can see you have a small mini fridge and a grill area, and then it's perfect for a weekender. This is a great way to travel around Oregon and be able to camp.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It is really pretty cool. And the good thing about these minivans is, I will say, is that you don't have a lot of size anxiety, if that's a term to talk about. I'm not sure this early in the morning, but you're not driving around in one of these big 35-foot motorhomes. You got a good-sized car right here, so you can fly in and out of any camping spot and all the rest of that. It is here at the Expo Center this weekend. There are RVs, travel trailers, fifth wheels of all shapes and sizes, and they are all here, and they are ready to be sold. So we'll show you a little bit more as we move on here this morning. For now, that is it. We will be back with more news, traffic, and weather coming your way after a break.